The scream wasn't hers. It came from her phone. A single audio message, muffled but clear enough to make Lena drop her tea. A woman's voice, soft and breathless, whispered Daniel's name like it belonged to her. The teacup shattered on the kitchen floor, and so did the illusion of her marriage. 8 months pregnant, Lena stood frozen, one hand instinctively covering her swollen stomach. Her phone buzzed again, another message from an unknown number. "I can't wait until she's gone, baby. Then we can start our life." Her pulse roared in her ears. Every detail she had dismissed, the late-night work meetings, the sudden interest in going to the gym, the locked phone, crashed down in cruel clarity. The world tilted. The sound of running water came from the shower upstairs. Daniel was home. She climbed the stairs slowly, each step echoing like a heartbeat she couldn't control. The bathroom door was cracked open, steam spilling into the hall. His phone lay on the counter, screen still lit. She shouldn't look. She knew she shouldn't, but her trembling hand reached for it anyway. Messages filled the screen. Pictures, plans, months of intimacy written in words that made her skin crawl. "Emma, how's my boy doing? Miss you. Daniel. Counting down the days till I'm free. Free. Free from her. From a wife carrying his child." Her vision blurred. The phone slipped from her hand, clattering against the tiles. The shower cut off. The silence that followed was deafening. "Lena." His voice was cautious, almost gentle. He stepped out, towel slung low on his hips. "What are you doing with my phone?" She looked at him, really looked, and saw a stranger. "You tell me." He froze when he saw the messages open on the screen. For a moment, the mask cracked, and she caught a flash of guilt. Then hardened. "You went through my phone?" Her laugh broke mid-breath, sharp and bitter. "That's all you have to say?" "I didn't want to hurt you," he said, stepping closer. "It just happened. You've been distant. Everything's been about the baby." "Our baby," she snapped, backing away. "You did this while I was carrying your child." The argument blurred after that. Voices rising, words turning cruel. He said things he couldn't take back. She said nothing more. When he reached for her, she flinched. And that flinch said everything. That night, she packed her bag. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just left. The house, the man, the life she had spent years building. The air outside was cold, but it felt cleaner than anything she'd breathed in months. 2 weeks later, she filed for divorce. The lawyer's office smelled like coffee and old paper. Her signature looked foreign on the documents. Each line she signed severed another tie. Property, custody, silence. Daniel didn't fight it. Maybe he was too guilty. Maybe he just wanted it over. She told herself she was done crying. Until her water broke early. Alone in her apartment, she drove herself to the hospital through the rain. Every contraction felt like her body was trying to purge the pain, to tear free from everything he'd done. Between screams, she thought of the messages, of Emma's voice, of the way Daniel had once kissed her forehead after every ultrasound and promised, "You'll never be alone." By the time Daniel arrived at the hospital, she was in the delivery room. Sweat drenched her hair. Her breaths came shallow and sharp. "Lena," he whispered, rushing to her side. "I'm here." She turned her head away. "You shouldn't be. I want to be here for the baby." She met his eyes, hollow and wet. "You weren't here for us." The nurse told him to step back. He did. She gripped the bed rails until her knuckles whitened, screamed until her throat went raw. And then silence. A single, small cry filled the room. Her son. The nurse placed him on her chest, and for a moment, time stopped. The world, her pain, Daniel, all of it disappeared. She felt his heartbeat against her skin, tiny and fierce, proof that something good had survived the wreckage. Daniel stood in the corner, tears glinting in his eyes. But when Lena looked at him, she saw nothing left worth saving. The next morning, the divorce papers were delivered to the hospital. Daniel came with flowers that wilted under fluorescent light. "Are you sure this is what you want?" he asked quietly. She didn't answer right away. She just stared at their sleeping son, his tiny fingers curled around her own. Then she took the pen from the nurse's clipboard and signed. "This isn't what I wanted," she said softly. "But it's what's right." He nodded, eyes red, but she didn't believe his tears anymore. When he left, the room felt bigger. The morning sun poured through the blinds, lighting the divorce decree beside the newborn bassinet. Two beginnings, one ending. She held her son closer and whispered, "We'll be okay." Outside, rain turned to light. Inside, she finally exhaled. For the first time since that message, she wasn't afraid.